So here's what they did.
Security.
They're putting glue over their hands. They're going to glue themselves to the exhibit in London. They just threw tomato soup.
What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people? The cost of living crisis is part of the cost of oil crisis. Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup.
Let's resign the room, please.
Okay, really quickly, welcome to the video. First of all, this is not your average video. I'm going to go back to that in just a second. It's your boy, Professor Nez. What we talk about here, I've been in the online space, a personal branding coach, consultant, creator for over 10 years. I help clients, professionals, creators, businesses brand themselves so they can earn more, grow faster, and stress less. And this is my reaction to this trending, viral, unbelievably wild video of these protesters throwing tomato soup on Vincent Van Gogh's original sunflower painting, 1888, almost 120, or actually more than that, almost 140 years ago. I'm only going to be looking at this from a branding perspective. This is my reaction. I'll tell you, if you want to stick around to the end of the video and get my personal reaction, I'm happy to give it to you. And I'd love to hear from you too. Let me know in the comments. But I want to go through this because I think this is really, really important. So we are in the attention business. Let's just get right into it. As content creators, as business owners, if we're trying to acquire more business, if we're trying to grow, expand, build community, build impact, we are all in the attention business. So what's the first thing that we talk about is for your video content, for all of your branding materials, for your messaging, it needs to be clear. It needs to target specific emotions. It needs to solve a problem, and it needs to all be about them, being your viewer, customer, client, whatever that is, whatever your objective is, it needs to be all about them. So how do you initially grab attention? You have to have a hook. You got to ensnare them. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of, the internet is vast, right? The internet is all, it's universal. And there's millions, trillions of people trying to get eyeballs and earballs. Well, you want to talk about a hook. I can't think of a better hook than actually going to this gallery and doing that. I can't think. This is trending on Twitter right now. It's trending on Twitter right now. The official statement, by the way, by the gallery is at just about 11 a.m. this morning, 2 people entered room 43. The pair appeared to glue themselves to the wall adjacent to Vincent Van Gogh's sunflowers. They also threw a red substance, tomato soup. The room was cleared. Police were called, yada, yada, yada. You want to talk about a hook. This is grabbing attention. It's number 2 on trending on Twitter. I'm talking about it right here with you guys. This is obviously an extreme example, and I would never advise. Obviously, everything we talk about in this video is just solely for educational purposes. Please do not take any of this stuff literally. Watch at your own discretion, view in your own discretion, but that's a pretty fantastical, powerful way of grabbing attention. Now, the second thing that they did that is so powerful is they targeted a very specific audience, and they did something that you guys know we talk about all the time. which is go directly to, when you're a business, when you're a content creator, which is really synonymous, when you're a professional trying to build your thought leadership, the number one thing you have to do after you get their attention is you've got to somehow pique their interest. And how you pique their interest is not by saying like, we're the best company that makes the best products. We're the best content creators that make the best content. That is not appealing. That doesn't do anything, right? You need to somehow find a way to emotionally trigger and engage your audience. Watch what this one young lady does when she, after they do this event, and I'll talk about it right after she does this. Check this out. So they're taping themselves. They're going to be gluing themselves to the exhibit. And then I want you to listen to the first 4 or 5 things she says right after she does this. Let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, she does that. All right, listen.
What is worth more, art or life?
Okay, first of all, right off the bat, she does what? We talk about this all the time. Asking a question to your audience. When you ask a question to your audience, you're directly asking them to engage and interact with your content, interact with your message, with your purpose. What is more important, art or life? I mean, naturally, just, from a neurocognitive perspective, your brain is going to automatically process that question and you're going to have an answer. There's going to be some kind of an answer. It may be nebulous, it may be ill thought out, but you're still going to have some type of a visceral response because those types of emotional triggering questions, naturally your brain is going to answer this. Listen to this. She goes even more.
Is it worth more than food?
Is it worth more than food? Another question.
Worth more than justice?
Is it worth more than justice? Another question.
Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people?
I mean, these are interesting. I mean, you have to admit, I give them a lot of credit. I mean, these kids are probably no older than 17, 18. I doubt they're in their 20s. But these are really thought-provoking questions. These are thought-provoking questions. Is the protection of a painting more important than the protection of our planet, of our people, of your citizens? Right? This is taking place in the UK, in London. The entire world. Context is important in branding. Understanding, not being tone deaf. Understanding the climate of the times, the zeitgeist that you're living in. We are going through a global, don't take my word for it. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial expert, but I'm a business owner and I look at my quarterly reports. I look at my balance sheets. I look at, my payroll. We're going through, I look at what's happening with interest rates. We're going through, let's just put it this way, extreme economic conditions. I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want to get demonetized or banned from these platforms, but thought-provoking questions.
The cost of living crisis is part of the cost of oil crisis.
Okay, so here's the thing that she did effectively. So the cost of living prices is directly correlated to the cost of oil prices. So she starts with a huge hook, throwing the tomato soup on this exhibit. Again, whether you agree with this or not agree with this, this is not from a personal perspective, a professional perspective. But she starts by interacting and hooking the reader on an emotional, on a way that attention grabs. It grabs attention. It forces the audience, the viewer, whoever their target audience is, to have a natural interactive response by asking these probing, provocative questions. Then she gets into her purpose. So, from a branding expert, okay, somebody who specializes in helping companies, brands, creators, professionals with their messaging. It all starts with messaging. I don't care how important your cause is, how important your product is, how important your content is, how important your purpose is. It means nothing if you don't have a clear, defined message. This formula is perfect. What they're doing is absolutely perfect.
Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families.
Language. Listen to the language. The cold, hungry families, emotions, triggering, relating to a very specific audience, a cause, championing the the underdog, the ones who are being overlooked, the ones who are maybe marginalized or are collateral damage in these kind of worlds that are really dominated by the top percent of people.
Can't even afford to heat a tin of soup.
Let's resign from the room,
Meanwhile,
please.
crops
Can't
are
fuck anyone
failing. Millions of people are dying in monsoons.
Okay, so that is really, really interesting to me. Again, whether you agree or not, just from a branding perspective, from a messaging perspective, this is extremely powerful. Is it extreme? Yes, it's very extreme. Could they have done it in a different way, format, shape, or form? Of course. Of course they could have. But they got our attention, didn't they? They hooked us, didn't they? They interacted, they engaged with us, didn't they? They clearly communicated their purpose and their cause to us. The means justify the ends? I don't know. You let me know in the comments what you think. I'm going to say this. Since you stuck around this long, I'm going to say this, and thank you for sticking around. Personally, I'm impressed. Number one, I am always drawn and I'm always impressed by people who care about something, just anything. I think complacency is death. I think disillusionment and just talking on the sidelines, and it's easy to talk. It's easy to say what you can do, but inertia in action, as Theodore Roosevelt said, the man in the arena, the one who fails, the one who actually dares and bolds to do something, about anything, I have more respect, more admiration for that. I love art. I love Van Gogh. When I first saw this, I was extremely angry. But then I watched it, I processed it, I thought about it. I see all the hate they're getting online and Twitter. They've got attention, their cause is out there, their purpose is out there. Whether you hate them or you agree with them, they got their point across. I'm very, very impressed. I think that's really, really powerful. But I want to throw this back to you. What do you guys think, Nez Nation? Let me know in the comments what you thought of this amazing protest that just took place today. And what do you think of my assessment of their messaging, their branding, their purpose, and how they targeted their audience? I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in monetizing in the creator economy, earning more, growing faster, stressing less, this is the place to be. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow. In the pinned comment, you'll see this free newsletter, ProfessorNez.com/insider. That's your sure-proof way of always being notified when we release new information on how you can make more money online. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching.